Video Sports and the TSSAA present the 1992 Clinic Bowl from Dudley Field on the campus of Vanderbilt University. It's the Class A Tennessee State Championship game between the Oneida Indians and the Battleground Academy Wildcats. I'm Steve Lusk along with Billy Ringgold to bring you today's game. Billy, these two schools are making their first appearance in the Clinic Bowl.
Both schools are coming off their finest football performance in their history. BGA is 14-0, ranked number 1 in the final AP poll. Oneida 13-1, ranked number 5. Two excellent football teams.
Oneida's only loss this year was a 22-15 overtime setback to Class AA Livingston Academy. BGA is a very young team, while Oneida has a solid group of seniors.
BGA only starts 2 seniors, and they thought next year, looking at this year at the beginning of the year, would be their year. Oneida is really strong with their senior group, 9 start on offense, 6 on defense, and they looked at this year as being their year to be here.
Who are some of the players we're going to watch for in today's game?
BGA is very balanced offensively. They have a great running game. You'll see them primarily in the I formation. Number 44, Bob Freeman, and number 42, Jason Donovan, had nearly 2,000 yards rushing. Their passing game is key by their quarterback, number 10, Matt McAfee, has thrown for over 1,800 yards this year. His favorite receiver, number 88, O.J. Fleming, 35 receptions, about 20 yards a catch. Defensively, they play great team defense. Scott Perkison, number 86, does a great job from outside linebacker position. Oneida, you've got primarily a running team. They'll run out of the veer, the I formation, and they've got 3 good running backs. Number 32, Doug Pike, number 47, Scott Owens, and number 21, Phil Meredith. They're rushing for over 300 yards a game. Defensively, they'll line up in the 4-4. They're led by 2 All-State selections, Doug Pike from his linebacker spot, and David Payne as a defensive tackle.
Before the game, we had the opportunity to talk to both coaches about the keys to victory in today's game. Let's go down to the field and hear from Oneida's coach, Jim May. And now to BGA's Kurt Page about the keys to victory.
Anytime.
The officials for today's Class A game from the Knoxville Officials Association. The referee is Bill Battle. The umpire is Steve Beeler. The linesman is James Workman. The line judge is Glenn Walker. The back judge is James Fox. And the electric clock operator is Charles Wildman. The chain crew is also from the Knoxville Officials Association. The captains for today's game making their way onto the field for Oneida. Quarterback Stan Pennington, number 11, number 32, fullback Doug Pike, number 47, tailback Scott Owens, and tackle number 61, Patrick Chitwood. The captains for Battleground Academy, the defensive end and offensive tackle Jeff Goodwin, number 67, and number 77, defensive tackle, offensive tackle Les Whitley. Let's go down to the field for the coin toss.
Well, let's hope Bob gets it.
Well, if nothing else, you can zoom in on it or something, can't you?
Well, maybe I ought to.
Okay. Hey, I'll be your director too, okay, Sam?
What do you come
That's
back
fine. I hope I can get it.
Coming back with, joining us today is Greg Lusk. You see who wins the toss. Focus on that, just in case we don't get
Oneida won the toss, deferred.
Okay, we're about ready to go for real, okay?
All right.
I'll say you can go when you want to.
Joining us for today's Class A championship game is Greg Lusk. Greg, what will BGA try to do to move the ball against Oneida's 4-4 defense?
Well, BGA will have to use their speed advantage in a balanced attack to offset the size of Oneida's line. I think BGA's ability to pass successfully will spread the defense of Oneida and allow the running game to open up for BGA.
What problems will Oneida's veer have against BGA's wide tackle 6?
Well, Oneida must use their size advantage in the line to run the ball directly at BGA, and this will open up the outside running lanes needed to make the veer very effective. Oneida must be able to control the ball and keep the ball out of BGA's hand. And, of course, I think the team that makes the fewest mistakes will definitely have the advantage today.
Kicking off for Oneida will be number 20, Byron Billingsley. Deep to receive for BGA, number 44, Bob Freeman. The wind blows the ball off the tee. There's not much wind, at least it doesn't appear from our perch high atop Vanderbilt Stadium here, but the wind may be a little bit more of a factor than it appears from up here. It's a beautiful day for football, and the Class A Clinic Bowl is just about set to kick it off.
One of the things that Oneida's done very well this year is cover kicks and punts. They've done an excellent job on that and really haven't given up many big plays in that area.
And the ball falls off the tee or blows off the tee again. After a couple of times, they may get somebody to hold it if it does it again. You know, the butterflies have to really be floating around in the bellies of those players right now. And we're underway in the 1992 championship game. It sails over the head of Donovan, who was over there on the right-hand side, and through the end zone, and so BGA will take it over on the first possession of the football game. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Let's set the offense for Battleground Academy. The line, Jay Judkins, Les Whitley, Berkeley Nance, Lamont Turner, Jeff Goodwin, and Scott Perkinson, the tight end. The receivers, O.J. Fleming and Craig Hoover. The quarterback, Matt McAfee. The fullback, Jason Donovan, and the tailback, Bob Freeman. No tight end in the game. The give is to Freeman, the tailback, and Oneida is there for the tackle. It looks like Jason Pike, number 23. Let's set the defense for the Indians. On the line, it's Robbie West, Ted Carson, All-State player David Payne, and Cully Phillips. The linebackers are outside Scott Owens and Jason Pike, number 23, who just made the tackle. Inside, Doug Pike and Daniel King. The cornerbacks, Mark Martin and Josh Thompson, and the safety is Byron Billingsley. It'll be 2nd down and about 11 after a loss of 1 on the play. Just underway in the Class A Clinic Bowl.
Immediately you see some of the diversity of BGA. They do go to the one-back offense, and they're able to throw out of this formation very effectively.
The give, however, is to Donovan, the lone back. He's got some room on the short side of the field, and he gets up close to the first down. He's driven out of bounds, I believe, just shy of the 30-yard stripe. He has to make it to the 30 for the first down, and so it'll be a 3rd and short situation. The first really big play of the football game for Battleground Academy.
And on the tackle was number 32, Doug Pike, and number 22, Mark Martin.
Come back out with 2 receivers set left and 1 right. I formation. Donovan is the fullback and Freeman the tailback. McAfee gives it to Donovan. He's got some room off the left side, fumbles the ball, but it drops right back to him as he got out to about the 34-yard line. There to make the tackle was number 44, Daniel King, the inside linebacker. He actually, I believe, knocked the ball loose, and luckily for Donovan and BGA, the ball bounced right back to him. Perhaps an unlucky break there for Oneida.
Daniel King is a fine linebacker. He's a 2nd on this defense in tackles. He's just a sophomore, just a great player.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. We've played 1 minute in the Class A championship game. McAfee back to pass, getting some pressure from the outside, but a good block, and now he gets it up to Donovan at the 45-yard line, bounces it out to the 47, where he's tackled by number 47, Scott Owens. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
And that's something you're going to see a lot of. Jason Donovan has got a great pair of hands, 42 receptions this year. They use him a lot in this offense. You'll see him in motion. They just try to get him all over the field, and they look for him and key off of him.
Oneida is looking back into the sun here at midday at Vanderbilt Stadium, and the sun could be a little bit of a factor, especially on the passing game. Something of a delay or a counter there to Freeman, and Freeman has found the sledding pretty rough so far as they may be keying on him. He tried to go off the right side, but there wasn't much there, and the entire left side of that defensive line for Oneida, Robbie West and Ted Carson, were in on the stop.
Well, that's the problem that BGA causes you. You can key on Freeman, but then they have so many other weapons to go with him.
Second and 10. One back offense. The pitch is to Donovan off the left side. Looking for some room. Gets a good block on the corner. He's across midfield and down into Oneida territory, down to about the 41-yard line. Knocked out of bounds there, where it'll be 1st and 10 once again for the Wildcats. He got a good block on the corner that time by Craig Hoover, who was in a slot back or a flanker position, and that freed him to roam around the left side and get the 3rd first down of this drive for BGA.
And again, in a 2nd and long situation, they elect to go to the ground, and it pays off with that same toss sweep around the left side.
It looks like for Oneida, Patrick Chitwood and David Payne are playing the defensive tackle spots in the early going here. Donovan goes in motion back to the short side of the field. McAfee pumps and then throws long, looking for Fleming. The coverage is there, but Fleming comes back to the ball and makes a great catch down at about the 15-yard line, falls forward to the 14, where it'll be 1st down and 10 on a good catch there by Fleming as the ball was just thrown up for grabs, and he played the ball, and could have been that the defensive back lost that one in the sun.
Well, you were right on the call. It was a hitch and go, and really the defender was there. The coverage was good, but Fleming showed great concentration and fought back to get the ball.
Great opportunity here for the Wildcats in the early going to take the lead, and they would like nothing better than to grab the lead very early here and put some pressure on this ball control offense of Oneida.
Well, that's one of the things that Coach Page mentioned, the fact that they wanted to have something good happen to them early and get off to a good quick start, and this drive is definitely getting what he wanted out of it.
There's Donovan taking the pitch and knifing down to about the 10-yard line, it looks like, a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6, and if they get the 1st down, they'll be inside the 5-yard line, almost to the 4-yard line. Freeman has come into the game for Battleground Academy at fullback. Screen over the middle, wide receiver screen that time to Fleming was incomplete, just over his outstretched hands, and again the sun might have played a little bit of a factor in that incomplete pass. 8:22 to go in the first quarter. Battleground Academy has it 3rd and 6 at the 10-yard line.
Again, a possible passing situation, and they're very comfortable passing down on the goal line. They have a lot of options. They can go to their passing game, but again, they have these big backs that can get you 5 and 6 yards too. So Oneida's got to be ready for both options.
Donovan is back in at fullback now as Harvey Freeman had come into the game for one play. Donovan gets the ball right up the middle on the quick opener, and he got from the 10 down to about the 7-yard line, a pickup of 3. Actually, he's just inside the 7. Looks like about 4th and 2. And if they go to the field goal here, then they'll be looking at Will Sweeney, a successful field goal kicker. But they may put the pressure on their offensive team. Well, as Coach Page is now sending in a play from the sidelines with his hand signals.
This is a situation that they don't make it. They've given Oneida the long field, and that's probably the thinking here.
This has got to be an emotional lift for Oneida if they can stop the Wildcats here. The give is to Freeman off the left side. I don't know if he's got the 1st down or not. We'll wait and see. He's really struggling for yardage, and it takes 3 Indians to finally drag him down at about the 3-yard line. I believe he has the 1st down.
I believe with that extra effort, he did get the 1st down. There for a while, I think Oneida had a chance to shut him down, but his leg drive kept the play alive, and he gets down to about the 3-yard line.
Looked like Chitwood and Pike and Martin were in on the tackle for the Indians, but it'll be 1st down and goal to go for the Wildcats of BGA with 7 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the first quarter in the Clinic Bowl for 1992. McAfee has the play now. The slot is left. Wide receivers left and right. The give is to Freeman off the left side. He gets a good block from Donovan, and he takes it into the end zone for the touchdown. Battleground Academy with 7:11 to go in the first quarter. Freeman scores from 3 yards out.
Again, BGA finds success on the left side of the line, and they're able to get it in for the score.
Lining up to attempt the extra point is Sweeney. Holding will be number 10, McAfee, the quarterback. The snap is down. The kick is up. And the kick is good with 7 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. The score is Battleground Academy 7, Oneida nothing.
The touchdown drive, 11 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 49 seconds results in the touchdown. BGA up 7-0.
I think BGA is doing an excellent job of spreading Oneida out with their formations, and that's opening up the running lanes for Freeman and Donovan. Just doing an excellent job. Of course, Oneida has to respect the speed of Fleming on the outside.
Sweeney's kickoff that time went down to about the 3-yard line as Scott Owens was looking up into that sun. He just had to turn away, and I guess luckily for him, the ball bounced on into the end zone and through for a touchback, and so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for Oneida. Let's set the Oneida offense. The offense is Jude Jeffers, Willie Boyett, Ted Carson, Robbie West, Patrick Chitwood, and Brandon Slavin. The quarterback is Stan Pennington, the fullback Doug Pike, the tailback Scott Owens, and the receivers Mark Martin and Byron Billingsley. The give is to fumble on the play. The give is to Pike. It looks like Battleground Academy's defense has recovered the fumble. Let's wait and see. Yes, 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line for BGA and a big break.
The recovery was by number 51, Jay Judkins, and that's exactly what Oneida did not want to happen here. They told us they could not afford to get behind in this game, and now BGA is in good field position once again.
BGA's offense back on the field, and let's see if they go back to the spread formation. They have 3 receivers in the game. Hoover is in the slot, I formation. The give is to the fullback, Donovan. He gets nothing. In fact, might have lost a yard. They mark his forward progress to about the 21, so he did lose 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 11. We're at the 6:30 mark of the first quarter in the Class A Clinic Bowl.
Cheerleaders.
Second and 11, same formation, 2 receivers left and 1 right for the Wildcats. McAfee takes the snap and drops straight back, has good protection, looking for the screen left, and Oneida has read it well. They're converging on the ball, but Donovan makes a great move and actually did a good job to get back to the line of scrimmage to the 21. It'll be 3rd down and 11. Great defensive reaction that time when the Oneida rushers saw that quarterback McAfee was dropping back. They just stayed out there in the passing lanes and read that very well. And frankly, Donovan did a good job to keep from having a major loss, didn't he?
Robbie West did a great job reading the play and was out there to had a chance of getting Donovan for a big loss. But as you pointed out, Donovan did the what he does all year long, and that's keep running hard, and got a little bit more out of it, got back to the line of scrimmage after the 1st down loss.
Donovan goes in motion now. Fake to Freeman. Looking for Donovan. He's there. The ball was there, and a great job that time by Billingsley breaking up the pass. Good play by Billingsley. It'll be 4th down and 11. We'll probably see Sweeney for a field goal.
Field goal will be about a 38-yard attempt, and this is within Sweeney's range. He was the first-team All-Mid-State kicker this year, and his range is between the 40-45-yard mark. He can connect from that area.
Ball is being placed down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a 37-yard or 28 maybe. And it's good. And so with 5 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the first quarter, the score is BGA 10, Oneida nothing.
The scoring drive, 4 plays, resulting in the 38-yard field goal by Sweeney. And you've got to give Oneida's defense some credit there, because if they had given up a touchdown at this point in the game, they were really going to be playing come-from-behind football, and they don't want to get in that situation.
Sweeney's kick is taken at about the 2-yard line, and there's some running room right up the middle. He gets out past the 25, almost to the 30-yard line. That's Scott Owens, number 47, the tailback. Let's set the defense for Battleground Academy. The ends Craig Hoover and Les Whitley, or rather Craig Hoover and Jeff Goodwin. The tackles Les Whitley and Jay Judkins. The outside linebackers Bob Freeman and Scott Perkinson. The inside linebackers Jason Donovan and Aaron Miller. The cornerbacks Eric Campbell and Will Sweeney. And the free safety is O.J. Fleming. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line for Oneida. And a pretty good return there by Owens. So motion man give us to the tailback, and there wasn't much there. Right up the middle. From the 29 out to almost the 31-yard line. Pickup of 2. Meredith was the carrier on the play. He got 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Oneida's been in a situation this year where they were down early, and they responded to a very good Livingston team and came back in that game to take the lead. And, in fact, that game went into overtime, so I don't think they'll get rattled at this point.
Pennington fakes to the fullback and gives to the tailback, who was Owens that time, and Owens got a little running room off the right side from the 31 out to about the 34, close to the 35-yard line. Let's call it the 35. Going to be 3rd down and about 4 to go.
And one of the things you'll notice about Oneida's veer is that Pennington does read. It's not a set play. He's actually reading the defense and making the call of who's going to get the ball on this veer offense.
Tight end is on the right side. Receivers are split left and right. Pennington looking for the left receiver. And that's number 16. Complete out there in the flat at the 42-yard line.
Jeremy Thompson caught that ball, and he lined up as a wide receiver on the right side and went down about 5 or 6 yards and just stopped and waited on the ball, and Pennington did a good job delivering it. Excellent protection that time from the Oneida line.
First and 10 from the 42-yard line for Oneida. Option left, the pitch is out there, fumbled, bobbled, picked up, and fallen on by Meredith. Looked like Meredith might have looked up right at the last instant before catching that pitch by Pennington. Perkinson was in on the tackle for BGA, and loss on the play puts Oneida in about a 2nd down and 15 situation back at the 37-yard line.
That's really an unfortunate situation because I think Phillip had a chance to make the corner, and as you point out, the sun may have well been the factor.
Fake up the middle. Pennington running for his life now, throws it downfield complete at about the 44-yard line, 43, 44-yard line. That looks like Martin out there, but there is a flag on the play.
Martin driven out of bounds by number 1 Will Sweet, but there's a flag on the play. The infraction is ineligible receiver downfield.
The indication is that there's an ineligible receiver downfield for Oneida. With Pennington scrambling, it could have caused some trouble for the offensive line. It'll be 2nd and long once again, as that play had picked up about 7 or 8 yards, but now the ball is back at the 32-yard line. It'll be 2nd and about 20. Owens goes in motion, now goes upfield in the slot. He's open. Pennington looking for him, throwing long. Just overthrew him by about 3 yards. Owens went in motion and ran straight down the field as the ball was snapped. And he came open out there. Pretty good coverage that time by BGA, but a perfect throw would have gotten the ball to him. He was just slightly overthrown by Pennington.
Well, you get an idea there of the arm strength of Stan Pennington. That was a very long throw, and we talked about the fact that Oneida is a running team, but they do have a passing game, and they have some imagination. I really like what I've seen of them. They have some nice patterns.
Tight end on the right side. They're in the veer formation with 2 receivers. BGA might have jumped. Now there's a screen pass. They've covered it well. Owens eludes the first man, but not the second. As there on the tackle was number 81 for BGA, Craig Hoover. Actually a loss on the play back to the 28-yard line, and so that's just about where they started this drive after the kickoff, after the BGA score. So it'll be 4th down and about 24 to go for a 1st down. On to punt for Oneida should be Scott Owens. Deep to receive, that looks like Fleming for BGA.
Obviously the penalty hurt Oneida a lot in this drive. It would have been a much more makeable situation.
It's a low punt picked up at the 33-yard line by Fleming. He's got some room, and he's got a blocker out front. He eludes one tackler and gets up near midfield to about the 49-yard line where he's tackled. It'll be first down and 10 for BGA. Let's go down to the field and meet the Battleground Academy cheerleaders. McAfee gives to Freeman right up the middle. Little running room, but not much there. As Owens, or make that Pike. Doug Pike, number 32, was the first man there. And Freeman got about one up near midfield. It'll be second down and 9.
Doug Pike, we mentioned, was an all-state selection from his linebacker spot. Was in on 158 tackles this year and also had 2 interceptions.
Give us to Donovan off the left side, and he goes from the 50-yard line down to about the 47 of Oneida. 37 seconds to go in the first quarter. In just a moment, after probably one more play, unless it's an incomplete pass, we'll be swapping ends. BGA has it third down and about 6 or 7 to go for a first down. Donovan goes in motion. There's a whistle and maybe a delay of game as the back judge has thrown the flag. It is delay of game and makes a 3rd and 6 situation about a 3rd and 11. McAfee gets the play from Coach Kurt Page. And they have receivers wide left and right and Hoover in the slot. Donovan now goes in motion. Fake the draw to Freeman and throwing long to Fleming. Well covered and almost picked off, then almost caught, and the ball falls to the turf incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 11 at the end of the first quarter. The score is BGA 10 and Oneida nothing.
Meredith. Excellent coverage on the last play by Billingsley, setting up a 4th down situation. And after Oneida gives up the first drive, the last 2 possessions, they've got them 4 and out. So they've really settled in. In the first quarter, BGA with 84 yards total offense, Oneida with only 4.
McAfee, the quarterback, is the punter as well. And so you might look for something out of that. Sure, it certainly opens up the possibilities of a fake punt. The punt is away from Meredith. He's trying to come over and pick it up, but he gets away from it now. Down there to cover for BGA is Fleming, and he downs the ball at about the 13-yard line. They keep the ball away from the ever-dangerous and speedy Phil Meredith. It'll be 1st and 10 for Oneida at their own 13-yard line. A lot of turf ahead of them for this Veer offense that's had tough sledding so far. Let's go down to the field and meet the Oneida cheerleaders.
Let's put that ball at the 13-yard line, not the 8.
Pennington has Pike and Owens in the backfield. Receivers split left and right. The tight end is right. The give is to Owens. There's a big hole over there. He got slowed up there a little bit by Hoover. The hole was really there, and just perhaps a step late in getting to the hole was Owens. But give Hoover a lot of credit there, as he did a good job in getting what he could of the running back and allowing the defense to catch up.
Well, you get an idea there of the speed of BGA. As you pointed out, the play was working perfectly, and just their speed closed it so quickly.
Pickup of about 3 on the play from the 13 out to about the 16-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Indians. 11 minutes to go in the first half of action in the Class A Clinic Bowl. The give is to the fullback Pike, and he got a little bit inside from the 16 out to about maybe the 19. Let's see where they mark the forward progress. They're going to put it down at about the 18-yard line. And so it'll be 3rd and 5.
Right now, Oneida is using some very large line splits, and of course the idea behind that is to spread the point of attack and get some one-on-one blocking. But right now, BGA with their speed is able to make up for that and fill the gaps.
Pennington wanted to pull it out of Pike's belly and couldn't do it. Pike took it up the middle from the 18 out to about the 21, maybe 22-yard line, but if he was stopped at the 22, he's short, and it'll be 4th down and about 1.5 to go. Ball is at the 22-yard line with 9:55 to go in the first half, and it looks like that Oneida's going to have to punt it away with Owens. Deep to receive again is Fleming for BGA. And now, since the quarter break, he is looking up into that sun, and we'll see if it affects him as it has earlier in the game against Oneida. Pretty good punt. It's a low driver away by Owens, and Fleming gets it at the 39-yard line. Gets out to about the 42-43. And coming down to make the stop for Oneida looked like Josh Thompson, or maybe it was Brent Dunlap in there on the tackle.
I think Daniel King might have been the first one to get a hold of his ankles there and pull him down.
You're right. I saw the 4, and I was looking at Brent Dunlap, but it was 44 instead of 24. It was Daniel King. It'll be 1st and 10 for BGA from the 42-yard line.
40-yard punt by Scott Owens.
Great field position, however.
Continuing throughout the game, really.
For BGA. The lone back is Donovan. He gets the pitch now, looking for a block on the corner. Owens does a pretty good job of playing off the block of Hoover and actually gets in on the tackle along with the safety number 10, Jay Seals. Actually, the cornerback, Jay Seals. Pickup of about 3. The ball's at the 45-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. No receivers on the left side. Tight end is over there. They're looking across the middle, and it went right through the hands of Daniel King, who had played it well. They were looking for, I guess it was Donovan out of the slot there, or out of the backfield. And that pass was overthrown, and King really had the best shot at it. It'll be 3rd down and about 7 from the 45-yard line. The clock is stopped with incomplete pass at 8:31 to go in the first half.
You saw excellent pass coverage there by Oneida. The linebackers got good drops, and it was really congested in that area of the field. BGA is very fortunate that that was not a turnover.
One back is Donovan. Hoover is slot left. Looks like Freeman is split wide left, and the pitch is to Donovan. Looking for some running room, cuts it up at about the 46, 47. Might have gotten to the 48-yard line. It'll be short of the first down by about 4. 4th down and 4. And it's hard to tell if they're going to punt or not because McAfee is the punter. And we'll just have to see the formation.
Doug Pike did a good job that time reading the play and really made Donovan come back in where some of his teammates, Daniel King and some others, got in on the tackle.
Owens and Meredith drift deep for Oneida. They are back at about the 12 or 13-yard line. The snap is low, but McAfee makes a good pickup of it, and he kicks it short. And that time a good job by number 16, Jeremy Thompson for Oneida. He was blocking downfield, saw the punt coming short, and just turned around and reacted to it and fell on it and probably saved his team maybe 10, 15 yards of field position there. They have it at about the 32, where it'll be 1st and 10, and this is their best field position of the day.
I think you're exactly right. The heads-up play there by Thompson was what they needed. That was one of those kind of balls that was going to roll. It looked like the football was going to hit and continue to go on down, and it very well could have saved him 10 or 15 yards.
Well, on the last play, they tried to kick it away from Meredith in the same fashion, and the ball did hit, and they rolled down to the 13, so actually a difference maybe of about 20 yards there. The give is up the middle to Pike, and Pike got from the 32 out across the 35 to the 36. That was a 20-yard punt a moment ago by McAfee. And it'll be 2nd down and about 6 or 7 for Oneida. Just outside the 35-yard line.
Almost a 4-yard gain there, and although that's not a lot of yardage, that's better than what they've been getting on 1st down, and it makes the 2nd down call a lot easier to make.
Well, that's as many yards as they got the entire first quarter, so that's got to be encouraging to them. The give is to the fullback once again. That's Pike, and he got about 3 or 4 more yards as he got from the 36 out to about the 40 and might have been pushed it across the 40-yard stripe. The ball is just about the length of a football over the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 for a first down. And this would really give Oneida a lift if they could get a first down here, keep the ball in their possession, move down, and maybe get something out of this drive to close this 10-0 deficit. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half of action in the championship game for Class A for 92. Pennington keeps. He has the first down and more as he gets down to about the 45-yard line. He was tackled there by Freeman, I believe, and maybe Donovan in on the play.
You got to know that Oneida has got to feel frustrated in this game, not having anything going. And look at the scoreboard and only be down 7-0 with all of the field position they've given BGA. They've got to feel good about their situation early right now.
There's a whistle on the field and a timeout is called by BGA. Timeout with 6:16 to go in the first half.
Which gives us the opportunity to once again recognize some of the corporations and people who contribute so much to the City Bowl. We would like to thank Aladdin Industries Foundation, American Contractors Incorporated, Ingram Incorporated. Thank you for your support.
BGA took that timeout and brought the entire defensive unit over to the sideline to talk to the coaching staff and maybe just settle them down a little bit. The give is to Owens off the left side, broke one tackle, crossed midfield and down to about the 48-yard line of BGA, and a good surge and good second effort there by Scott Owens off the left side. Actually picked up about 7 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 3 for Oneida.
Which is about Scott's average on the year, average a little bit over 7 yards per carry, 120 carries, 855 yards, 12 touchdowns. Had a very fine year for Oneida.
Pennington gives to Pike this time, and looked like he was trying to read that one and pull it out and pitch it to Meredith. Looked like there might have been some running room on the outside, but they tried to nudge it up inside and got about maybe a yard. Actually, no gain on the play. So it'll be 3rd down and 3. One impressive thing about this Oneida team all year long is they've got 3 backs who've carried the ball within 5 or 6 carries of each other, and so they're a very balanced team.
I'll tell you something else about this team is a lot of games this year they've enjoyed big leads, and they've done a good job in developing depth. They've put a lot of young players, and it's going to serve them well not only in this game but next year also.
3rd down and 3, big play. A little bit of a counter look that time as the quarterback pivoted out to the right and then spun back around and gave it to, I believe it was Owens, who crossed down to the 45 and to the 44, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for Oneida. And now they've moved for 2 first downs on this possession. Got to be giving them a big lift right here.
Well, it looks like the offensive line might have got together and talked about the situation because they're doing the job up front right now, finding some running room for those backs.
4:40 to go in the first half. Oneida inside BGA territory at the 44-yard line, and the fake was to the first man through, and Pennington, I don't know if he wanted to keep it or not, but he just didn't have much choice as the BGA defense swarmed him there, and he was tackled at about the 45-yard line for a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Well, 2 things there. Pennington did want to pitch, but he did the right thing. The pitch wasn't going to work. And then great defensive pursuit by Scott Perkinson from his outside linebacker spot, came up and just stuffed the play out.
2nd and long now, and this is not the kind of situation that Oneida likes to find themselves in. Fake to the 2 backs. The pass is up in the air, up for grabs, and it's incomplete as coming from his linebacker spot was number 48, Aaron Miller, to hit Pennington just as he was about to release it, and really, they're quite fortunate there that there was not a turnover on that particular play.
Well, you know that BGA has got to be prepared for the pass with the schedule they played this year, particularly the Spring Hill team they beat twice this year, a very fine passing team. Very much tested their secondary was in those 2 ball games.
Pennington dropped straight back. Perkinson came open there, and now Pennington throws it away, and there's going to be a flag on the play, maybe intentional grounding, as he was being harassed back at the 48-yard line. by BGA.
We will have an illegal forward pass assessed against Oneida.
It was intentional grounding, a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, and a loss of down. So it'll be 4th down and a long way to go, about 25 yards or so from the 41-yard line, and that's got to take a lot of the wind out of Oneida's sails.
Well, the one thing that it has done for them is to give them a chance now to establish field position anyway. If Owens can get a good punt and they can get good coverage, they'll back BGA up.
Fleming takes it at about the 23-yard line, stutter steps, and brings it across the 30 to the 31, where it'll be 1st and 10 for BGA with 3 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the first half. The 34-yard punt by Owens, and about an 8-yard return for Fleming.
And it was good coverage by Oneida. Ted Carson and Tim Rosenboom were down for the tackle.
BGA has 3 receivers, no tight end in the game. Looks like they've got single coverage on the left side, and now Donovan may be open. They throw a flare out to Fleming, and a good job over there of reading that play and reacting to it. Let's see who it was.
I believe that's Scott Owens. And BGA has got to be very disappointed because the play was set up, but Owens just beat the 2 blockers and got back and got Fleming there. Just an excellent defensive play. The one thing Oneida's got to be looking at right now is don't give up any more points in this first half. They're in a situation now that even if nothing happens for them this half, they're going to go down 7-0, and they will receive the opening kickoff in the second half. So a very key series here for the Oneida defense.
2nd down and 10. Actually, maybe a loss of about a half yard, but we'll still call it 2nd and 10. McAfee pumps and then throws long. The receiver is there just over his outstretched arms. I believe that was Perkinson over there who had carried out the pump fake along with McAfee, stop and go route, and then the pass was just over his outstretched arms. Martin really did a pretty good job of staying with Perkinson on that coverage there.
He did a good job catching up because he had fallen about a step behind and did a good job closing and had a big part in breaking up the play.
It'll be 3rd and about 10 or 11 for BGA. Draw to Freeman. He's got some running room. He's at the 40. He's across the 45-yard line where he's tackled by the Indians. Big play for BGA on 3rd and long. They go to the pass look and they run the draw with Freeman, and that's by far Freeman's biggest gain of the day. It'll be 1st and 10 for BGA, and they can probably run out the rest of the half, if nothing else, there without giving Oneida a chance to get the ball back.
Tremendous call there by the coaching staff, and a big play for Freeman. Really the first time he's got loose here in the first half.
And then good execution on the play as well. McAfee drops back looking for the screen again to Donovan. He catches it at the 35, and he's going to be tackled by Scott Owens, who read that play beautifully. And he's going to be knocked down back at about the 33, a loss from the 45 all the way back to the 33-yard line, a loss of about 12 on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 22. 1:40 to go in the first half.
You think Scott did some film work? I tell you, they've done a great job diagnosing those screens, and they know who the dangerous people on this football team are and done a good job covering them.
Into the game for BGA, the wide receiver, Aaron Anderson, number 4. He's a 5'6", 155 senior. McAfee runs the draw to Freeman again, and that time the linebacker Pike sniffed it out. I don't know if he actually made the tackle, but he was one of the first ones there to fill the hole. Also reacting was number 40 for Oneida, who is Cully Phillips. He was in there on the stop as well. The gain was from the 32 out to about the 34. Might have gained 1 or 2 yards, but that's about all. And so it'll be 3rd and long with a minute to go. Timeout on the field. Oneida.
Oneida, now they're trying to set up a situation where they'll get the ball back here. If they can stop BGA here, they'll force the punt and possibly get the ball back, maybe even block a punt. Another thing you've got to remember is they've got excellent punt returners in Meredith and Owens. Both these guys can go the distance. You mentioned the name there on the tackle, Phillips, and a situation that I was talking about where they had a chance to build depth. He's just a sophomore, and they've got several sophomores who have contributed a whole lot to this season for Oneida.
One minute to go in the first half. 3rd and 20 from the 34-yard line for BGA. McAfee takes the snap as Donovan goes in motion. He's looking to Donovan. The pass is intercepted. Intercepted at the 49-yard line by Billingsley. Billingsley takes it back to the 35. He's got some blockers. He could go all the way. He cuts back at the 20, down to the 15, and down at the 14-yard line. Big play by Byron Billingsley for Oneida, and Oneida's in great shape with 46 seconds to go, and the Oneida crowd is really into the football game now. Big turnover here.
Tremendous play with 46 seconds to go here in the half. They do have the 2 timeouts remaining, and for Billingsley, what a great read. His 5th interception of the year. Just a great job, and then the defense set up a great wall to the right side and had tremendous blocking. They're down in scoring territory.
And Oneida takes one of those 2 timeouts right now to be sure that they've got their strategy all together and they're all on the same page offensively to try to punch this in and get something out of it, if nothing more than a field goal.
It's interesting that Billingsley's interception may have set up his own field goal because he is the field goal kicker, and right now they're in his range. Obviously, they want more. They want a touchdown on the board, but if nothing else, they'll have an opportunity to at least go for 3.
At this part of the field, this is where an option-type offense like this one is or other types of option offenses really becomes effective because there's just so much width on the field to cover there, and it gives you several different avenues or lanes in which to run. So this makes it doubly tough for BGA down in this area of the field.
Well, they have some really good options here. They can go with their big backs, or they can try Meredith around the corner, and they're not even afraid to throw the ball here. So a lot of things open up to them. They do have to remember the clock in this situation. With just one more timeout, they're not going to have time to run probably 3 plays.
Tight end is right, and in motion goes Owens. There's a rush from the outside. Pennington finds a man down at about the 9-yard line, but it was incomplete. Pennington was under pressure. He stepped up in the pocket and got rid of it downfield to number 86, Shoemaker, and it was incomplete. Just would have been really a tough catch for Shoemaker.
And they may be better off with the incomplete pass. It would have gained about 5 yards, but it would have kept the clock running to a point where they might have had to use their 3rd timeout. And I think they want to save that timeout for the possible field goal attempt.
41 seconds to go in the first half. Oneida trails 10-0, but they're threatening to score here after the interception by Billingsley. Here comes the BGA pressure again. A great catch that time by Shoemaker, number 86, Pete Shoemaker, a sophomore receiver, and he got from the 14 down to about the 11. Good defensive coverage there as well, as he was tackled almost immediately. It'll be 2nd down and about 7, and Oneida takes their 3rd and final timeout with 31 seconds to go in the first half.
BGA did a good job keeping the play in front of them. But the other thing they're doing, the last 4 pass plays by Oneida, the protection has not been there. The defense from BGA is all over Pennington. He's not really having time to look around and pick out his receiver. Without the timeout here, you wonder if they could even run if they wanted to. Is there enough time to run a play and get the field goal unit on the field?
Well, I think definitely it'll be tough for them. I think they'll have to go into the end zone, try to throw the football there to set up at least the field goal.
Here it is, 31 seconds to go in the first half. The ball's at the inside the 12-yard line. Pennington is the quarterback for Oneida. He drops back to pass, a short drop. They throw the fade pattern, fighting for it down there in the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown to Mark Martin, it looks like. And Oneida has gotten on the scoreboard with 26 seconds to go in the first half. It's 10-6 BGA.
Just a great job that time by Mark Martin. Really had to wait and screen the defender off, if you will, so that he had an opportunity to catch the ball. Tremendous concentration on his part to make the catch.
And we've got a football game. On to attempt the extra point is Billingsley, who set up the score with his interception and 37-yard return back down to the 14-yard line.
And he's a very fine kicker in his own right. He kicked 46 point-afters this year.
The kick is up, and the kick is good. And so with 26 seconds to go in the first half, the score is BGA 10, Oneida 7.
Drive 14 yards, 3 plays, resulting in an 11-yard touchdown pass from Pennington to Martin, set up by the 37-yard interception return from Billingsley.
I think Oneida did a good job of calling the play there and taking advantage on the one-on-one coverage. It was a safe pass, and a pass they needed to throw in that situation.
Billingsley squibbed the kickoff down to about the 32. They wanted to keep it away from the dangerous deep return men. You sort of trade off there. You automatically give the opponent, in this case BGA, pretty good field position, but you keep from having a very big play here at the end of the first half. There's 22 seconds and counting to go. Looks like BGA is going to be content just to let their clock run out, as they do have 2 timeouts left. First and 10 from the 32-yard line. McAfee gives on the delay to Freeman, and there's not much room for Freeman. Actually, he's dropped for a loss back to the 29-yard line by Pike, that All-State linebacker for Oneida. And that's the end of the first half. At the end of the first half, the score, Battleground Academy 10, Oneida 7. BGA will be kicking off to Oneida as we begin the third quarter of action here in the Class A Clinic Bowl, the championship matchup. And deep to receive for Oneida, Owens and Meredith. Sweeney's kick is going to be taken by Owens at about the 11-yard line. He's out to the 20, looking for room on the right side. Good coverage by BGA that contained him at the 30-yard line. Would be 1st and 10 for Oneida with 70 yards in front of them for a go-ahead score. Greg, is 10 points enough for BGA here to win this football game?
Well, of course, if BGA keeps Oneida from scoring, they will win the football game. And last week, they were able to do that against Spring Hill. So possibly, of course, the turnover factor is going to be key here. So if BGA play good defense, they may that 10 points may be enough for them.
I think if you're Oneida right now, you got to be thinking that we've been very fortunate to have stayed in this football game, and in spite of the turnover that we made and the long drive by BGA very early, they're loving it right here, especially after a good gain on first down, a pickup of about 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
This Oneida team's, of course, been in a lot of big games to get here. They played very well against Cofield, Donaldson Christian, Greenback, played a very good Livingston Academy team. So I'm sure they're coming out, as you pointed out, very fired up about being in the ball game, and I look forward to a good second half.
The fake was to Pike, and Pennington stumbled out of there with it, and a good reaction by the BGA defense. They tackled him all the way back. Well, I can't really tell where they're going to mark the forward progress. Looks like at about the 33-yard line, a loss of about 2 on the play for Pennington. It'll be 3rd down and 7 at that point.
We talked about in the very beginning the fact that BGA didn't have many seniors, but right there you saw a good play where both seniors that they have came through. Jeff Goodwin, number 67, and Les Whitley, number 77, the captains on this team, both did a very good job wrapping Pennington up for the loss.
3rd down, and this could be a big momentum shifter back to BGA side if they're able to hold Oneida here on their first possession of the second half. The give is fake to Meredith, and now the pitch to Pike. He's got some running room. He's got the first down. He's out across the 40, knocked out of bounds at about the 42. There on the tackle was Fleming and Donovan, but not before it was a first down. Good option read that time by Pennington, and then he pitched it to Pike on the outside, and he got about 9 yards off the left end. Actually, it's up to about the 43-yard line where they mark it 1st and 10 for Oneida. 10-yard gain.
Absolutely. The key to the play was Pennington's read. He read the end and the outside linebacker, and then Doug got the ball and does what he does best. He got about 8 or 9 yards, and that's about what he's averaged all year. He's over 900 yards for the year.
I think BGA was a little bit surprised at the play calling there. I think they expected Oneida maybe to throw the football then.
The give is inside. No, it was faked inside to Pike, and that time Pennington kept it. And wrapping him up, I believe that was number 81, Hoover. Good job reading the fake to the fullback and then the keep by Pennington. He did pick up about 1 on the play from the 33, or rather the 43 to the 44-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Give it up the middle to Owens, and there's not much room there. He got from the 45, or from the 44 rather, maybe to the 45, and that's about it. And the whole right side of that BGA defense reacted there and just swarmed on Scott Owens. It'll be 3rd and about 8 to go for the first down. We're approaching the 9-minute mark of the third quarter here, and a 3rd down play again for Oneida. And swing it out on the left to Meredith. He's got some room on the left side. He's across the 50. He's got the first down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line of BGA. And there's some of that imaginative passing game that you talked about in the first half, Bill.
A lot of times on that play, they'll run Scott Owens from that left halfback spot and they give him the screen. There they went with Meredith. And from what I've seen on film, I think Phillip might be a little bit quicker than the other two backs. And when he got the ball, he knew what to do with it, didn't he? He got upfield and got some good yardage.
Well, BGA looked like they had actually read that pretty well, but Meredith turned on that speed and they got around the corner there.
The key to the play was outside linebacker for BGA blitz that time, and it's just an excellent play call for that situation.
There's the veer being run to the right. Pennington pulls it out of there now, and he's still got it. And he's down inside the 40, down to the 35, still on his feet, being carried along and carrying tacklers with him all the way down near the 30-yard line. And what a great effort. In the first half, we saw a big fourth down play, and Bob Freeman for BGA, the tailback, carried about 3 tacklers with him down to gain the first down at about the 3-yard line. There you saw Pennington, who's a big, strong kid, fake the dive in there to Owens, pull it back out, and he literally carried tacklers about 5 yards.
We've seen several situations where it looked like Pennington wanted to pull the ball back out, and that time he was successful, and it resulted in a big gain. He's a very good leader on this team. He was first-team All-District. In fact, he's a 2-time All-District player, so he's a very fine quarterback for Oneida.
1st and 10 from the 30, and the give is straight up the middle to Owens. He's got room on the right side, looking for a block downfield. He gets it, but catching him from behind is Donovan with perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle. I don't know. He would have gotten a few more yards perhaps, but he's tackled down at about the 14-yard line, and some good things happened to Oneida from that very same 14-yard spot right at the end of the first half, and the crowd is into it, Oneida's into it, the entire team, and BGA wants a blow. They're going to take a timeout, and the whole defensive unit is coming over to the sidelines to talk now, and Oneida is loving every minute of it over there as the sideline, and everybody is really into this one.
Well, great blocking that time by Robbie West and Patrick Chitwood on the right side, opening the hole up, and Scott Owens did a good job taking advantage of the hole. They've got to be very pleased with this second half opening drive.
$7:54 to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line for Oneida, bidding to take the lead in this game. They're already well within the field goal range of Byron Billingsley. They could at least tie without a turnover here, and they give us to Pike straight up the middle, and that offensive line now is getting a good push. Really nobody hit him until he was 2 or 3 yards down the field that time as he got all the way down to about the 10, and frankly it didn't look like there was a whole lot there.
Well, the line surge definitely got the gain. You're looking at a line that averages 242 across there, so they're a very big high school line, particularly on the Class A level.
Oneida's doing a better job now of mixing up the running plays, going away from the veer option more.
2nd down and about 6 from the 10-yard line. They're looking at the veer option now, and a great defensive play that time. Might have been Perkinson. Yes, it was Perkinson who crashed in from his outside linebacker spot and read Pennington very well there. Maybe Pennington would have been better served to give that ball to the first back through that time, but that was his read, and let's give Perkinson some credit there as he reacted to it.
Well, he's been credited with 23 quarterback sacks this year, so you get an idea of what he can do to a quarterback, and he does a very good job of reading plays.
It'll be 3rd down and about 6, actually maybe closer to 7, as Pennington might have lost about a half a yard there. There's some pressure on Pennington, who's looking for a screen over the middle, and it's caught by Pike at the 5-3, touchdown, Oneida. 6:37 to go in the third quarter, and Oneida has taken the lead, 13-10, on the 10-yard touchdown pass from Pennington to Pike.
Just an excellent play call there. BGA again had the blitz on, and they threw a middle screen. Outstanding catch there, and just a situation where the right play was called for that particular time.
They've caught him in blitzes a couple of times on this drive and used it to their best advantage here as they've taken the lead. And the extra point attempt is blocked.
I believe Donovan got in there and blocked that extra point, and that could be big. Obviously, it keeps BGA within a field goal of tying this game.
Donovan, and also in there perhaps to break that up was Will Sweeney, and that would be quite an irony if Sweeney, the kicker, was able to get in there and block Billingsley's extra point attempt and maybe give himself a chance to tie this game up with a field goal a little bit later. With 6:37 to go in the third quarter, the score is Oneida 13, BGA 10.
Down drive, 10 plays, 70 yards, 5 minutes and 23 seconds off the clock. 10-yard pass from Pennington to Doug Pike.
I guess that answers our question about the 10 points there for BGA. Oneida did an excellent job of mixing up their play calls. They kept BGA off balance there.
Just what the doctor ordered for Oneida as they've taken the lead in this football game. The kickoff goes to Donovan. He took it from the 12 or 13 out to about the 23-yard line. About a 9-yard return. It'll be first down and 10 for BGA with about 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. They come out with no tight end, 3 receivers in the game, I formation in their initial possession of the second half. They give us to Freeman, and boy, were they ever there to stop Freeman. I believe in the backfield. Might have lost a yard back to the 22.
Great job by Robbie West coming in from his end position, making the tackle.
They're going to say that he got back to the original line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. It'll be second down and 10 for BGA.
Well, we talked about the offensive line for Oneida coming through. Their offensive line is their defensive line, and it's obvious they've come out motivated here in the second half from the first play on this defensive series.
Is the size factor of Oneida beginning to take its toll on BGA?
That is very possible that throughout the game, of course, BGA has been in a situation before, and, the size will take a toll, but both teams are well conditioned, I'm sure, at this point in the season.
That time the wide receiver screen was zipped out there. A great throw by McAfee. He really put something on that ball, and Fleming got it and took it out to about the 30-yard line. It was a pickup of about 7 on the play. It'll be third down and 3.
Well, that's a play we saw in the first half that Scott Owens broke up, and that time the blocking was good on Scott Owens, but then Jay Sills and Cully Phillips come over and make the tackle.
Third and 3. They give us to the fullback, and he's got room. He's across the 40 out to about the 42, maybe 43-yard line, and that's about a pickup of 13 yards on the play. It'll be first and 10 for BGA. The quick opener right up the middle.
That was a good example there of the diversity of BGA's offense, kind of opened up the middle there for the fullback, Donovan. Excellent play call.
Donovan is so versatile in his own right. He can run the ball, he can catch. This is a guy that's got nearly 1,600 yards total offense, and what we saw on film, I'm just very much impressed with him.
There's Freeman, and they're really keying on him, and he tries to get back outside to the left. The play looked like it was designed to look for a hole on the right side. Freeman was trying to run to daylight, but there was nothing but darkness, and he tried to run back to the left and couldn't find anything but orange shirts, and actually is tackled for a loss of 1 back to the 41-yard line, where it'll be second down and 11 for the Wildcats.
That's a situation where Robbie West did a good job. If he had over-pursued that play, he would not have been in position to make that tackle, and did a good job staying at home.
4:15 to go in the third quarter. Looking at Fleming, he's got it at the 45, spins out of one tackle, gets across midfield, and down to about the 47-yard line, where it'll be first and 10, I think, for BGA. If he got to the 47, then I believe that's going to give him the first down for about a half a yard.
I really like that play because you get a guy like O.J. Fleming out there one-on-one, and if his man doesn't make the tackle, he's going to get big yards for you. You're looking there at a first-team All-Mid-State player, a guy who's caught 35 balls, a 3-year starter for this team, and in addition to all that, he's an excellent student in the classroom.
He's got excellent size as well, 6'4", 200 or so pounds, and he's tough for a cornerback to bring down.
That's absolutely right. He caused you some real matchup problems back there.
Give us to Freeman up the middle, and he went from the 47 to about the 46, and that is all. They're really keying on Freeman, aren't they?
Yes, and of course Freeman is a big man for BGA running the football. They're really keying on them, and BGA in that situation was trying to use the formation and the motion to open up the middle again, but Oneida did a good job of reading Freeman.
Well, that's something we saw on film also is the motion. Sometimes they'll run like they did there, and sometimes they'll pass off of it. It's really a good play for them.
Donovan has gone back to tailback, and Aaron Miller is in the game at fullback, and now the pitch goes to Donovan there. And playing off the block beautifully was All-State linebacker Doug Pike, and you see why there he got statewide recognition as he read the play very well and tackled him for a loss of about 4 all the way back to the 50-yard line, where it'll be third down and 13.
Doug, in addition to being an All-State player, which of course is the biggest honor the state has, but he was also the District 2A Player of the Year. So he has a lot of recognition not only in his area but across the state.
Oneida got a break at the end of the first half, and that's carried over to this third quarter. And coaches Jim May, Jim Birchfield, Keith Henry, Jimmy May, and Phil Newport have done a great job inspiring their team at halftime. Here's Freeman looking for the halfback pass. It's pretty well covered, and Freeman throws it long downfield, and it's incomplete. And give Oneida's defense some credit there, as Billingsley and also Thompson, I believe, had not bitten on the fake and were there on the coverage. And frankly, I think Freeman did a good job there just trying to throw it away.
Yeah, that was a good play call, even though the play did not work. Oneida was keying on Freeman so much that good play call, except, Oneida did a good job defensively reading the play and not letting Fleming go.
It'll be 4th down and 13, and McAfee is back to punt, gets a low punt down the field away from Owens, and now he lets it bounce, and it rolls inside the 10. It's still rolling at the 6, and it looks like it's going to be down right about the 6-yard line, where Oneida will have it 94 yards away from pay dirt with 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. 1st down and 10 for Oneida.
44-yard punt, and it's really got the Indians backed up, and you couldn't ask for anything better from BGA's standpoint for their defense here. If they can stop them, they're going to get the ball back in good field position.
Two receivers are set right. The tight end is on the left side, I formation, and the give is to Owens, and reading that one extremely well that time for BGA was number 51 for the Battleground Academy defense, Jay Judkins, and he just ran right around the block and made the tackle on Owens before he could ever get going. Maybe picked up 1 from the 6 to the 7, where it'll be 2nd down and 9. Pennington gives to Owens, and looked like it was a straight play, a straight handoff. I believe, Greg, you pointed out earlier that doesn't look like Oneida is reading the veer quite as much anymore, as they are running some set plays out of their veer formation. And of course, they've been in the I formation here, 2 plays down here in the shadow of their own end zone. They moved it out 3 yards from the 6 to the 9. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Of course, Oneida has to be careful here because they're in a tricky spot on the field. They definitely do not want to turn the ball over here, so they have to be conservative, hand the football off, and try to ground out the 1st down.
Now they're in their split back veer with the tight end on the right or short side of the field. They run the veer that way, pitch it to Meredith. He's trying to get to the corner. He does. He stumbles forward. He started stumbling as Freeman and Donovan tripped him up back there at about the 8 or 9, or rather the 13 or 14-yard line, and he actually stumbled forward for about 6 or 7 more yards all the way out to the 21-yard line. Great run by Meredith.
Well, you saw a little bit of power that he has, but you also saw the speed we talked about. He was able to get around the corner, and very talented young player, just a sophomore, and of course Oneida's going to expect big things of him the next couple of years.
1st and 10 for the Indians. From their 21-yard line, they've moved it out from the 6. And there's the quarterback sneak to Pennington. He comes free all the way out to the 40, 45-yard line. He's tackled near midfield to about the 48-yard line by Fleming, O.J. Fleming, which again might have been a touchdown-saving tackle. They saw something in the BGA defense, and he just took advantage of it, took the snap, and went right straight up the gut for a pickup of about 33 yards on the play.
I would love to know if that was a read or a call play. Either way, it was very successful, and a great block there from Ted Carson, the center, and Pennington was off to the races.
Of course, that's just another dimension of the veer offense. You get the defense looking outside to stop the off tackle and the option play, and the quarterback just snuck through there. Good job.
What they had been doing, what BGA had been doing, is sneaking their linebackers up, and I think that's what happened maybe there. The linebackers were coming up to cut off the pitch.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score, Oneida 13, BGA 10.
In the quarter, Oneida 112 yards, BGA 27, and they're in the midst of a big drive here that took them from their own 6 out to about midfield.
Oh, big play on the outside that time, and there's one of Battleground Academy's 2 seniors that play significantly, Jeff Goodwin, who made a big play on Pennington, dropped him for a loss all the way back from the 48 to the 44-yard line, a loss of about 4, and it'll be second down and 14.
That was a big play there by BGA, but until that point, Oneida's senior offensive line and senior team looks like they've come out in the second half and have decided they really want to play football here. You have to remember BGA is rather young, and so that may be an advantage here that Oneida has in the second half.
There's the option run left, and the pitch is to Meredith, and he's got some room on the corner. He eluded one man and crossed midfield and got down to about the 47-yard line, it looks like, where the official has it marked. He was knocked out of bounds at that point. A pickup on the play from the 43 to the 47 of 9 yards. It'll be second down and 4. Excuse me, third down and about 4 to go. You mentioned the senior leadership, but of course you look for seniors to step up in situations like that. We're in the final quarter of action of Class A football for this year, and it's now or never for these guys.
That's right. This is fourth, third down right here.
The give is to Owens. He spun off one tackler and keeps leaning forward. I think he's going to be stopped short of the first down with a 3-point lead. Fourth and maybe 1 or 2 here. Actually, they marked him all the way back at the 44-yard line, so it's going to be fourth and about 2 or 3. Looks like that they're going to punt here, but you've got a situation where you might gamble for the first down.
Well, I think the punt is probably the sound decision in this situation. You've got a chance to back BGA up, and your defense has just been tremendous, really since the first opening drives of the first half.
Owens gets a good snap from center. He punts it away from Fleming. It's going toward the corner and actually going into the end zone. Punt of 44 yards, touchback. It'll be first and 10 from the 20 for BGA with 10 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the football game. They trail 13-10.
Great punt that time by Scott Owens, and really probably better than he would have liked. He would have liked to have down it inside the 20 or the 10, but really got a hold of that ball, and BGA is backed up. Remember, though, the opening possession, they went 80 yards on this Oneida team, so they do have the weapons and the capability of going all the way.
They give us to Freeman, the tailback, and they read him beautifully again. And they've just really shut him down, with the exception, to my recollection, with the exception of one delay where he got about 14 yards on one carry. They've limited him to virtually nothing on the ground. He gained 1 from the 20 to the 21. It'll be second down and 9.
Pat Chigwood from his tackle spot was primarily responsible for the tackle on that play. Here's a young man who's had over 75 tackles this year. Just had a great season.
Unofficially, Freeman has 12 carries for 19 yards. Fake is to Freeman. McAfee looking out in the flat to number 81, Hoover. He got it there and went forward to the 28-yard line, where it'll be third down and 2.
Good job there of BGA diversifying their offense there. They're going to have to do that more. They're going to have to throw the football a little bit more. I think they have a little bit more of an advantage in that particular phase of the offense.
9:27 to go in the football game. BGA trails Oneida 13-10. Big third down play here.
And talking about the passing game, Oneida will tell you that that's one of their weaknesses is their pass coverage. And that's one of the things that BGA has definitely got to exploit.
And just as we've been talking about Freeman being held to 19 yards on 12 carries, he goes from the 28-yard line across midfield down to the 49-yard line. Big play for Bob Freeman. Pickup of 23 yards on the play and a first down.
Freeman is the kind of player that he can explode like that and have a big game. So, there we see his explosive ability there.
They give us to Donovan this time, and Robbie West is there on the tackle, and also down to the very bottom of that pile, somebody had Donovan by the ankles, and it was Pike, Doug Pike, number 32, who got up off the bottom of the pile. Might have been a gain of about a football length, but that's all. Let's call it no gain. Second down and 10 for BGA with 8.5 minutes to go in the ball game. down the middle. There's Donovan. He's got it at the 30-yard line. He's dragging players along. There for the stop was Mark Martin, primarily responsible. And Donovan took it all the way down to the 26-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for BGA. And the coaching staff for BGA has found something that they've been able to exploit in the Oneida passing game, or rather pass defense. Coach Don Guth, Doug Langston, Tim Moore, and Kurt Page have got this Wildcat team moving with 8 minutes to go in the football game. The give is to Freeman off the right side, looking for something there. There's no room, and he's going to be tackled for a loss back at the 30-yard line by Scott Owens, reading the play very well from his outside linebacker spot.
Well, Jude Jeffers did a good job getting the backfield and kind of throwing things off there. Really made him go a little bit wider than he wanted to, I think.
Let's go down to the field and hear from the Battleground Academy cheerleaders.
You're in a situation right now where they're very outside part of Will Sweeney's range. They obviously want to get closer. They don't want to try a field goal. They'd rather get a score or a touchdown, but if they do have to go for a field goal, then they're going to need to get a few more yards really to be in his range.
Excellent job there. Good play call by BGA. The short conservative pass there on 3rd down. However, just an excellent defensive play there by Oneida, jumping up and tipping the ball away.
Well, Scott Owens got out there in the flat and knocked that ball down and brings up a big 3rd down situation for BGA.
And BGA is going to take advantage of their second timeout here in the second half with 7 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the football game. They call timeout.
In a situation like this, is there any way you play for the field goal, or are they looking for the first down to keep this drive going?
I think you have to be looking for the first down. High school football, unless you just have an overly exceptional kicker. BGA has a really good kicker, but this is going to be pushing his range, and if you punt the football here, you're not going to gain a whole lot. So I think they'll be going for the first down in this situation.
Well, possibility, I guess, of going on 2 downs, right? I mean, I guess you're in 4-down territory, possibly.
That's right.
Well, they've got 14 yards to go on 3rd down, so you could see them with a couple of those short passes that they've thrown so well. They're 4 out of 5 this half in the passing game.
That's right. They've hit their fullback and their tight end on this drive, and I think that's what they have to look to do. They're covering Fleming up on the long pass right now, so they're going to hit the short receivers.
Well, that's the problem that Oneida has. They have to figure out which one of those they're going to do. And remember, in a situation like this, in the first half, they ran that little delay where Freeman was able to get big yardage.
Hoover is in the slot left and rolling out left. Utah pass to Donovan. He fumbles the football. It's still loose on the field, and Oneida claims they have it, and they do. With 7 minutes and 5 seconds to go, Oneida recovers the fumble. It might have been Chitwood on the recovery. I don't know.
I think they're going to credit that with Doug Pike, and there you have a situation where the senior All-State player really comes through for Oneida.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line, their own 30-yard line. And with 7 minutes to go in the football game, a Veer offense grinding it out for 70 yards, maybe 10 or 12 plays. They could take a lot of this clock off and make it very tough on BGA. Critical defensive stand here for BGA. They run left to Owens. Straight handoff. He's still on his feet, cutting back across the grain. And that time you saw the quickness and speed of BGA actually work against them as Owens ran left and then cut it back as the BGA defense had over-pursued. He took it out for a gain of about 11 yards for a first down at the 41-yard line. 6:37 to go in the football game.
Well, at the end of this game, they're going to name the most valuable player. And from what I've seen here in the second half, you may have to name about 5 because that Oneida offensive line has really opened things up.
Run the motion man, does Oneida, and they give to the fullback up the middle. That's Pike. He got about 2, 3, maybe 4 tough yards. He was blasted down at that point at about the 44-yard line by BGA. I think in there on the tackle for BGA was Judkins. Might have also been Whitley at the bottom of that pile. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Oneida's
really looking to score here because of that 3-point lead a field goal can always tie it up. And with an extra field goal kicker for BGA, they're looking to score here to make BGA at least score a touchdown to be back in the football game.
And there's Pennington with the quick snap, and he tried to sneak it up the middle as he had done on their last possession for a big gain. And he got it from the 44 out to about the 46, a pickup of only 2 that time as BGA reacted much better. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Some confusion that time by the Oneida team. BGA was faking the blitz, and it really just threw things off there in that offensive set.
It might have been a situation there where they were trying to catch BGA off sides, and it really didn't work in their favor that time.
3rd and 5. Oneida looking to keep the clock running and keep possession of the ball. They got the pitch outside. Meredith cuts it up inside. Bounces off one tackler at the 48 and is knocked back to the 46 and then stumbles forward to about the 47 or 48, where it'll come up short of a first down by about 3 yards. A pickup finally after all that of 2. It'll be 4th down and 3 with 4:40 to go in the football game. Fleming is going deep, and if they continue their pattern, they will kick away from Fleming as Owens is back to punt for Oneida.
Great defensive play by Jason Donovan. I believe Meredith had a chance of making the first down until Donovan hit him and pushed him back.
Fleming picks it up at about the 3-yard line. Good coverage. There's a flag down on the play. Gets it out to the 15, still on his feet to the 18. Another flag in on the play. And the return was good from the 3 out to the 18, a pickup of about 15 on the return. But there are 2 penalties after the 50-yard punt by Scott Owens.
Well, usually when you see a flag like that in this situation, it's going to almost always be on the receiving team. And if that's the case, that's really going to back BGA up here with a long way to go here to get some points on the board.
We'll let the officials sort it out. I think we may have 2 different fouls on this particular play, as one flag came down very early and then one flag came in late just about the point of the tackle.
We have clipping assessed against the Wildcats.
But whatever the situation here, this has really turned out to be an exciting football game, and it's really what the state championship is all about. BJ's here going to have a chance to, 4 minutes and 16 seconds left, to drive the ball down the field and to try to tie or take the lead right here. And the crowds are getting into it, and excitement's filling the air, and it's what the state championship should be.
Maybe offsetting penalties here as Oneida has come back to the original line of scrimmage, and we may have a re-kick here, and after the long delay in discussion, may have to do it all over again.
I'll tell you by the reaction of the Oneida players, it's as if the ball, they're going to retain possession. And I can't imagine what the situation is, but the signal is clipping against BGA, and they're tacking it on from the original line of scrimmage, and they're indicating that Oneida is going to retain possession.
Must have been before the punt. And at any rate, the signal is 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for BGA, or rather for Oneida.
I think the call is going to be the clipping took place before the change of possession. A very unusual penalty. Obviously, the BGA coaching staff is wanting to get an explanation of exactly of what happened.
Now they're marking off the penalty for face mask against Oneida.
We have a face mask assessed against Oneida.
Well, we may just do it all over again anyway.
Well, I think we're going to come back to your original assessment that it was offsetting penalties.
Most unusual set of circumstances here. And quite a delay of at least 5 minutes as far as clock time. I wonder how that'll affect the teams.
Well, I think it's a good job by the officials making sure everything is correct, because this is extremely the most important game of the year, so they're taking their time here discussing and make sure everything is done right.
Looks like it's going to be 4th down and about 3 yards to go. And once again, Scott Owens, this is not a replay of the tape, but Scott Owens is dropping back to punt once again. There's the snap. He gets away the punt, not nearly as good as the last one. Coming up to catch it is the short man Donovan, and he's tackled almost immediately by Jason Pike at the 24, 25-yard line. But in the exchange of possession there, after the 2 offsetting penalties, BGA gains about 10 yards. 4 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the football game. They'll have it 1st and 10 from their 25.
Really heads-up play by Jason. Again, we saw a situation like that where Oneida covered a punt like that, and he did a good job of going ahead and catching the ball and stopping any kind of roll that Oneida might have got out of the punt.
Back to pass, right down the middle to Donovan. He's got it at the 40, out to the 45-yard line, and he's tackled by Jason Pike, and also it looks like Billingsley in on the play, but it's enough for a 1st down, a 20-yard pass and run play from McAfee to Donovan. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the 45-yard line.
Great job that time. Both receivers had gone to the right side of the field, and the safeties had shifted over, and then they run Donovan there in the middle of the field, and he's open for the pass.
It was Donovan's 6th catch on the day. 3.5 minutes to go in the football game. McAfee back to pass again, looking down the middle to Donovan. There he is at the 40. He's at the 35, still on his feet, spins out of one tackler, inside the 30, down to the 25, and finally corralled at the 23-yard line by Daniel King, and getting up off the bottom is Jason Pike once again, but not before another big play and a 1st down for Donovan.
We've obviously seen here the versatility of this BJ offense, the fact that they do use their backs in the pass patterns, and it causes some matchup problems and some coverage problems.
Good use of play action there also. Play action to Freeman opening up Donovan there on the pass.
And now they give it to Freeman, and he goes from the 23 down to about the 19 to pick up a 4 on the play. And instead of faking to him and rolling back to pass, they give it to him, and he got 4 for pickup down inside the 20 to the 19. It'll be 2nd down and 6 with 2:48 to go in the football game. Let's go down to the sideline and hear from the Oneida cheerleaders. Freeman with it down from the 19 and inside the 17. Looks like they're going to put the ball down right about the 17. A pickup of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 4. In this half alone, with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the football game, Matt McAfee is 7 out of 9 passing for over 100 yards. So he's had a great second half.
Big 3rd down play here, and the situation may be where the BGA coaching staff has to make a decision after this play if they don't pick up the 1st down.
The pass inside to Fleming. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Oneida down at the 3-yard line. A great break on the ball by Josh. I believe that was Josh Thompson, number 25, who cut or stepped right in front of O.J. Fleming, the intended receiver, and picked it off with 1:51 to go in the football game. And now Oneida has a chance to run out the clock. BGA has only 1 timeout left.
We've been talking about the seniors on this Oneida team and how much they've played a part. And there you see a situation where a sophomore comes in and maybe makes the play that seals this victory.
BJ was trying to just throw a safe pass there, possibly score if they could. It definitely did not want that to happen, but just an excellent defensive play there by Oneida.
Now you put the game squarely on the shoulders of that big offensive line for Oneida and say just keep them off the quarterback and the running backs and let us run out this clock. 1:35 to go in the football game as the clock is running. The give is to the tailback, and that was probably Pike. It was Owens, I'm sorry, number 47, Scott Owens. He took it from the 3 about to the 5, and BGA's probably going to wait to 3rd down to call their timeout. Or maybe 4th down, depending on the situation here. They only have 1 left, but the clock is ticking away with 1 minute and now 10 seconds to go in the football game, 2nd down and 8.
Well, BGA's hands are kind of tied right here. Of course, they're looking for the fumble, and their players are trying to strip the football right here. And if you're Oneida, that's one thing you're saying. Hold on to the football.
Well, obviously, BGA is trying to get Oneida in a punting situation, and this is a team that has forced some problems from teams that are punting. The Huntland game alone, they caused 3 block punts, so that's what they're hoping for here, a chance to get a block punt or get in the punting situation, first of all.
The give was to the tailback again. He got from the 5 out to about the 6, and that's all. And BGA does take their 3rd and final timeout with 42 seconds to go in the football game. They trail 13-10 to the Oneida Indians. Third and 7 from the 6-yard line for Oneida. And if they get a first down here, it's the football season. Give is to Pennington, and he runs it right up the middle behind his offensive line. Did not want to risk a handoff there. BGA is claiming that they stripped the ball, but the whistle had already blown. He got from the 6 out to about the 8-yard line. Pickup of 2 on the play. It'll be 4th and 5 or maybe 6. I believe that's going to be it. They may not have to snap it again as the clock is counting down 15 seconds. And the celebration has begun on the Oneida sideline. Congratulations to Coach Jim May and the Indians as they're going to be the 1992 Class A state champions. It's over. The final score is Oneida 13, BGA 10.
Steve, you're looking at a senior class that has gone 45-8 now for Oneida. Over 85% of their games they've won in their career. These guys set this as a goal early on, and they've now today accomplished that goal.
And I expect that though BGA is walking off the field with their heads hanging and undoubtedly dejected, there's a real good chance that you could see this Battleground Academy Wildcat team back here as they're just loaded with sophomores and juniors and freshmen that are extremely talented. And so congratulations to Coach Kurt Page and the Wildcats for their runner-up finish here in 1992.
Neither team has anything to be really disappointed about because they both played well, they played hard, and played the game like it should be played. Close ball game, and it just happened that Oneida got the breaks from their end.
Great sportsmanship being shown there as the two teams have lined up and are exchanging handshakes and well wishes. And that's really what high school sports and athletics is all about. The camaraderie, the friendship, the memories made, they're going to last a lifetime.
A very well-played football game by both teams with very few penalties, and both teams did what they wanted to do. You saw the running game of Oneida. You saw the passing game and the running game of BGA, but I think the key to both teams today was their defense. It was just phenomenal defense by both sides.
Let's go down to the field for the announcement of the runner-up and championship trophies.
This year, the Clinic Bowl has established the past chairman's Sportsman of the Year Scholarship Award. This $1,000 scholarship has been created in honor and underwritten through the generosity of the past chairman of this 43-year-old event. Nominations for the scholarship were limited to a senior football player from each of the 6 schools participating in today's Clinic Bowl, with the selection criteria being based on scholastic, athletic, and extracurricular and leadership achievements. Present at midfield with this year's chairman George Schultz and Tom Herbert are many of the past chairmen responsible for this new scholarship. I am pleased to announce that this first ever winner of the past Chairman's Sportsman of the Year scholarship is Benjamin Bolton of Battleground Academy. Benjamin possesses a strong academic record, is a four-time letterman in football, and is a previous all-mid-state selection. Congratulations, Benjamin Bolton. In years past, the TSSAA has awarded a Most Valuable Player award for each game. There is a change this year in that there are two Most Valuable Player awards to be given. The Most Valuable Lineman for this game and the Most Valuable Back for this game. They both go to Oneida. For the Lineman Award, number 32, Doug Pike. And the award for the Most Valuable Back, number 11, Stan Pennington. Gathered at midfield are Mr. Tom Herbert and Mr. George Schultz, the co-chairman of this 1992 Clinic Bowl, along with Mr. Ronnie Carter, the executive director of the TSSAA, and Mr. Larry Kleyholtz of American General Life and Accident Insurance Company. They will now present the championship trophies first to the runner-up coach, Coach Kurt Page. Presentation to the runner-up team, the Wildcats of Battleground Academy in Franklin. And now the trophy presentation to the coach of the winning team, Coach Jim May. And the trophy presentation to the Class A champions, the 1992 champions, the Indians from Oneida High School.
Well, the celebration is continuing down on the field as the Indians have accepted their championship trophy, and Coach Jim May has accepted his championship plaque. The BGA Wildcats and Coach Kurt Page reluctantly accepting the runner-up trophy, but that's something they'll be proud of in the years to come, as that silver football, symbolic of the runner-up in the Class A championship game, will be displayed proudly down at Franklin at BGA. The past Chairman Sportsman of the Year Scholarship Award went to Benjamin Bolton, a BGA senior, and that's a great honor for him, a $1,000 scholarship awarded by the past Chairman of the Clinic Bowl. The co-MVPs, the lineman was Doug Pike for Oneida, and the back was Stan Pennington, the Oneida quarterback.
Doug Pike definitely lived up to his billing as an all-state quarterback. Stan Pennington, 10 of 43, 10 rushes, 43 yards, 6 of 9 passing, 2 touchdown passes, just a great football game.
That's the final chapter of Class A football for 1992. For Video Sports, I'm Steve Lusk, along with Billy Ringgold and Greg Lusk, telling you that the final score of the Single A State Championship game is Oneida 13, Battleground Academy 10.